how quickly do you expect jobs to eventually bounce back?
Well, there's a number of answers out there, Pete. Well, apparently the ATO says we've lost about 950,000 jobs, looking at their data. Now, Treasury thinks that by mid-July, 850,000 will have actually been reinstated. Gee, I hope they're right. That sounds like a fantastic number. But the AFR has a story this morning where Boston Consulting Group, which has gone through and looked at the various industries, is saying that, well, some industries will have a V-shaped recovery, down and coming back up really quickly. Others will have a much slower one at the bottom, and they'll eventually come good. And they reckon there'll still be, I think they said about 570,000 jobs will be back by December. So they're two very different kind of reports. I'm hoping that Treasury is absolutely on the number and Boston Consulting Group's wrong, because that will mean it's a much slower recovery of the economy.
I put it to Matthias Cormann a few weeks ago, actually, on what letter he thought it would be, a U, a W, or an L, or a V, and he just says as long as it's not a W, which is probably true. But, I think the expectations are, well, the Treasury Secretary said it'll be a U, right, this week?
Yeah. And look, the only way you'll do it is by adding up all your industries, because some industries will have a V-shaped recovery. I think the cafe industry, I was staggered to read that dining outdoor, but just dining out, right, is only down 21% on last year's numbers. Yeah. I would have thought it'd be a long way down on that.
So is it your expectation that the economy will bounce back eventually faster than first thought?
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah.
There were numbers out there, Pete, that really shocked me about, say, 4 or 5 weeks ago. And as an optimist, I tried not to be shocked by doomsday numbers.
Yeah.
But I think it was even Treasury that said it too, that 10% unemployment and 10% contraction in growth. I think we're going to be more like what the IMF initially predicted, down about 6.7% this year. That's a contraction, but rebounding about 6.2% in 2021. That looks more likely at the moment, judging from the stock market, which is unbelievably positive.
Well, I mean, is that all baked into the stock market at the moment? Because that seems to be going the other way.
Yeah, the stock market is believing that there will not be serious second wave infections. They're believing that the Trump-China potential trade war will not be as serious as it was even in 2018 when the stock market, the US stock market, nearly fell 20% in 2018 because of the trade war. So but they're factoring in at the moment the best case scenarios, and that's why our stock market has rebounded over 30%. We're now out of bear market territory. And look, a stock market will always try and guess the future, say 6 months ahead of the reality. You just have to hope that they're right. That's all.
Yeah. Just finally, this HomeBuilder scheme, Peter, what are your thoughts on it? Any concerns?
Yeah, look, Pete, during the GFC, when the Labor government came up with the pink bats thing, which became a tragedy, unfortunately, that was a good idea in the sense that it was accessible to everybody. A lot of people needed to put insulation in. All that sort of stuff was sensible. And so lots of spending happened immediately. And so, unfortunately, it was badly handled and badly monitored. But the bottom line is with this, too many people are cut out. Like the 150,000 a single, 200,000 a couple. You have to spend a lot of money to get it. I just think it's just really not going to be the kind of thing. When I first heard about 40,000 grant to do renovations, I thought, yep, this is going to be a great stimulant. A lot of people will bring forward renovations. It'll be great for the economy. But from what I'm seeing now, a lot of people just won't access it, so it won't work.
Basically, you're asking, people and couples to go into a lot of debt. $150,000 spend, that's after tax. So you're going to have to earn double that, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Look, a mate of mine's actually fitting his garage with a gym. And when I was driving out the other day, I saw the guy in there doing it. And I said in a joking way, I said, if you give me, I want to do my garage next. I said, give me a quote for $150,000 so I can get a $25,000 grant. That's the kind of ball team that will probably go on.